Welcome back. November 8th, National Cappuccino Day. I know this is a mess of stuff I got out here. I got all the big gadgets out here. I got a ton of ingredients here. Why? Because we are going to Cheesecake Land. Oh, I can't wait for this one today. If you do this one for your Thanksgiving dinner dessert, I guarantee you showstopper, or potential for showstopper. We've never made this one before, but it's got all the elements that I think are just going to be amazing for a cheesecake, okay? And for dessert for after Thanksgiving. It's coffee, it's cappuccino, so why not have some cappuccino cheesecake with your cappuccino? We got a bunch of stuff to do here. There's like 4 different layers. You have your crust, then you have this chocolate ganache that we're going to lay inside the crust, then we're going to make our cappuccino coffee flavored cheesecake filling, and then there's a sour cream topping, vanilla sour cream topping that you put on the top of that, which I don't know if I'm going to do that or not because I've never been a big, huge fan of sour cream toppings on my cheesecake. I just may take some more of our chocolate ganache and drizzle that on the top and see. Okay, but there's a bunch of steps here, so let's get started right away because this one I think is going to be off the charts today, alrighty? Okay, for our crust today, you'll need a 9-ounce box of chocolate wafer cookies, 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, a half a cup of packed dark brown sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 7 tablespoons of hot melted unsalted butter. For our chocolate ganache, you'll need 1.5 cups of heavy cream, 20 ounces or 2.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate, and 1/4 cup of Kahlua liqueur. For our cheesecake filling, 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese at room temperature, a cup of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of flour, 1.5 tablespoons of dark rum, 3 tablespoons of espresso powder, 1.5 teaspoons of molasses, 3 large eggs, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, let's get started on our crust. Take your small amount first, your 6 ounces or 3/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and just process them real quick. You want to make sure those are kind of chopped up into smaller pieces, okay? To that, we are going to add our whole box of, if I can get them out of here, chocolate wafers. They're these great little really thin chocolate wafers, okay? So we're going to put this whole box in here. Okay. And just give that a pulse. Okay, and then once you pulse that, now you're going to add to that your brown sugar and your nutmeg, okay? And give that a couple pulses. Okay, now you have this great mixture of all this stuff. Now you're going to slowly drizzle in your melted butter into this till it all forms that wet crumb mixture, okay? So our crumb mixture is all ready. Now we're going to press this into our pan. While we're doing that, on a low heat here, put your heavy cream in a pot and let that get nice and warm, okay? You're going to see, wait till it gets to that hot simmer point. We don't want it boiling, we just want that nice hot simmer, okay? Like I said, in the meantime, let's get our crust here. We have this real wet crumb mixture of the sugars and the butter and cookies. So you want to just get all of this out of here. Okay. And now, as usual with a cheesecake, we're going to press this into the bottom and along the sides. Now, I like to use a measuring cup and just kind of put your hand inside and just kind of use that as your press. Okay, make sure you get as far up the sides as you can because you want this chocolate crust to be kind of everywhere. So our crust is all pressed in. as evenly as possible. It's hard to make it even along the sides, but that's okay. Our milk is ready here, or our heavy cream is ready, steaming. Okay, to that we're going to add our mess of chocolate chips. I think it's 2.5 cups of chocolate chips, semi-sweet, and our Kahlua, okay? And we're just going to whisk that together until it melts. The chocolate's going to melt pretty quick, and this is going to make our ganache, okay? This is what you get, this beautiful dark melted chocolate, which is great, okay? So you're going to pour about 2/3 of this into your pan here. You want to save some of it if you're going to use it to decorate your cake, which we are. So we'll just save that. And now I'm just going to kind of make sure that this chocolate gets all covering the crust here. But the majority of it is going to be along the bottom, okay? That's going to make this chocolate fudge layer underneath your cappuccino layer, okay? So now what you got to do is take this, put this into your freezer for about 30 minutes because we got to reharden this fast. In the meantime, we'll get our oven preheating and start on our filling, okay? So now's the time. Start preheating your oven to 350 in your mixing bowl here. Now, granted, you could always do this too with a hand mixer or by hand. It's a little more work, but if you have a mixer, that always helps. 3 blocks of cream cheese, softened to room temperature. That's very important because it won't blend well with your sugar, and you'll have clumps of cheese, cream cheese that kind of don't blend in. So make sure that's nice and warm. A trick to that is you can just take your blocks while they're still wrapped in that foil that they come in and put them in a bowl of warm water for about 15 minutes, and that usually softens them up really nice. Add your sugar to that and just cream your sugar and cream cheese together. Okay, and then once that's ready, to that you're going to add your flour and just let that mix in. And now's where we're going to kick it up and add all of these amazing flavors. That's why I think this is what's going to put this cheesecake over the top. Okay, you're adding your rum, your espresso powder, your vanilla, and I'm using vanilla bean paste. That's my new favorite thing. And molasses. I mean, this thing is just, I can't even imagine how amazing this is going to taste, coffee-wise, you know, cappuccino-wise. And then lastly, you just incorporate your 3 eggs, one at a time. You drop them in there, let those get all mixed in. Make sure you scrape down the sides of your bowl at some point too, because sometimes you get stuff that didn't mix in so well. Okay, so our crust comes out. See, it's not frozen solid, but it's firm, and that's what you want. Okay? So we're just going to, as always, wrap really well the bottom of our spring form. It will leak. I say it all the time. Plus, you don't want water seeping into your cheesecake either, you know? So just make sure you wrap, because we are going to water bath this. Now, this recipe didn't call for a water bath, but I always water bath my cheesecakes. One, because it helps prevent getting cracks on the top of it. Plus, I just think it helps cook it more evenly. There is our filling. I mean, look at that. It already looks like cappuccino. Oh man, I can't wait for this one today. So you're just going to pour this right on top of your crust and chocolate mixture here. Okay. Put it in our water bath. 350, about an hour. You want it jiggly in the middle like always with our cheesecakes, okay? This one will come out, and we saved our chocolate ganache. Just leave it, cover it with some plastic, leave it on the counter, and we might put that in a piping bag and kind of do something with it, alrighty? I don't know if I'm going to do the sour cream topping, because I think I'd rather just have more chocolate on the top, alright? Be right back, everybody, when this one comes out. Oh, are you as excited as I am? It's cappuccino day, but this is cappuccino. Okay, my cheesecake came out. I let it cool down. Look at that. We drizzled some of that chocolate ganache on the top. I mean, this just smells amazing. When it came out, it smelled like a coffee house in here. So we're just going to put this in the fridge now, because this thing has to cool completely. And we'll be back in a bunch of hours after dinner and such, and we'll give this one a try today. Can't wait to see what this one is all about. Alrighty, a couple hours later, right out of the fridge, I just scored the side of this, so let's hope it pops out nice and easy without too much loss of the crumbs, which some of the crumbs are going to fall off. You really can't do anything about that. But I mean, look at that beautiful, perfect cappuccino fudge cheesecake. Oh man. All right, let me get a knife and a fork and a plate and be right back. Okay, the hardest part is always getting that first piece out. But look at that beautiful cheesecake. It's a new one for us. Can't wait to try this thing. Oh man. Let's see what we got here. Wow. I think I outdid myself. Didn't I tell you? This one today. Thanksgiving dessert, showstopper. Wow. It's got this amazing coffee flavor in the cheesecake part, which is what I thought it was going to have. And adding the Kahlua to the chocolate layer on the bottom, this ganache layer, perfect. Because it just adds to the whole coffeeness of it, you know? Then you got your little drizzle of chocolate on top. This thing is perfect. If you're a fan of coffee, like coffee ice cream and stuff, this is the cheesecake for you, man. Wow. Probably going to keep me up all night, too. No. There's actually no coffee in this. It's just that espresso powder. But that has such an intense coffee flavor that you definitely get it throughout this whole thing. All right. Cappuccino day, everybody. Make this one. I know I say that every day. But I'm telling you, this one, you got a couple weeks to try it before Thanksgiving, or if you just want to take the shot and do it for Thanksgiving, I'm telling you, you will blow everybody away with this dessert. Alrighty? We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.